Hi there. So today I read a very interesting short story by Leo Tolstoy, and this is How Much Land Does a Man Require? That's the name of the short story, and it is written by the said uh, Russian author Leo Tolstoy. This is very interesting story. In fact, this story uh, most of us in Bangladesh also we also know this similar kind of story, uh, but the way Tolstoy wrote this story is kind of interesting. I mean, I used to know this story before also, but I've seen it. This is kind of a bit different from the story that I used to know, the same story, or the way it was written in our literature. So is kind of different, and uh, or the way we heard it is kind of a bit different, but the main thing of the story is same. Here a farmer, and a farmer uh, become tries to become someone rich, or not in some other way. He wants more land. So how much land he will acquire, it the story goes to in some other form also. So in this story, a farmer whose name is his name is Peckham. Peckham. So he tries to grab more land, and the story goes like in couple of ways. He tries to get uh, tries to become more richer farmer, have more lands, have more grow more crops, and get more lands. This way the story started, and this way the story actually evolved. Then the whole thing actually then started in some other way when he went to a new place where the system is like you have to give some money. Like in this story, this is 1,000 some Russian currency at the time. So and from that type, you that the rules is, the more land you can work in one day, the amount of land you can work in one day, you will get all the land yours. But the condition is you have to start from a point, and then you can work and then come back to the same point. So this farmer Peckham actually started working early morning, and then when he came back, it was too much land he worked, and the story goes in some other way, and he actually worked too much land, and it was too tiring for him to come back on time. And the time he reached to the initial point, he actually died due to the exhaustion and blood coming out from his mouth, because he didn't sleep last night, the night before the day, and he didn't eat breakfast, and so many other things happening in that time. So basically what is happening here is, the thing what he tries to this Leo Tolstoy tries to establish is, people usually are kind of are not satisfied with what they have, and this is not good, because if you are not satisfied with what you have, and you become greedy, and greedy. I mean, the more you have, the more you want, and this is not going to end well. So this is kind of establishment. So the story, in fact, the thing what intrigued me is, how much land does a man require? This is a question, and this is the name of the story, and it ended in very nice sentence. Actually, I liked it. Let me read the last sentence. So in the last, when he died, he was buried in the same land where he just ended from his walking. So the story ended this way. He he dug a grave of the same length as Peckham's form, from head to toes. In fact, I mean, this how much land you require? So the answer is, you need the amount of land from your head to your toes, just so that one can dig a the grave for you, and one can put you in the kind of, you know, this is not 100% correct, but to some extent this is how the story ended, and this is kind of interesting. I mean, this story is interesting in some philosophical sense also. In fact, people are nowadays also, people are really tries to get something more, something new, and this is not good, and we can see it in our everyday life also. We must be satisfied with or I mean, this is, if we are satisfied with what we have, it's not, then we are not growing. That's also another thing. I mean, we have to try something new, but it doesn't mean that we have to we will never be satisfied, and we will not stop at some point. And if we are greedy, if we want things, and if we keep trying, and then at last we will find ourselves at some point where there is, this is some tragic end, because everything has some limitation, and we must know the limit. And if we do not know the limit, if we do not know the bar, the bar that we all have, then it's not going to end well. This is very interesting lesson of our life, and we all needs to be careful about this really, because let me once again restate it. It's not like we don't want nobody. It's not like people needs to people needs to be satisfied with what they have, and they don't need to try something new. It's not like that. It's like you have to try something new. We have to try something new. We have to try something. We have to try to get something more, but it doesn't mean that we have to be creative for everything. You know the difference. There is some very sharp difference between these two. One is we want everything. One is we want something more. We want to push our boundary a bit more, and then it's not like we want to get everything. So that's the point. That's the difference. We must know how much we need, and where is the bar, where is the boundary, where is our satisfaction limit. Okay, this is another interesting thing. The other day I was asking some people around, and I asked him like, how are you? So he said he is happy, but not peaceful. I mean, he don't have peace, but he has happiness. So I asked like, what's wrong? Why you are not why it's not peaceful for in your life? Why it is why you are saying you are happy but not peacefully happy? So he said, this is very easy to become blah 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 happiness. To get the happiness is very easy, but to get the peace it is very difficult, blah blah blah. And then later we talked about it a bit more, and tried to analyze it. What does it mean? What is the difference it makes? And and why people are not happy? I mean, why people do not have peace in their mind? And but they have happiness to some extent, sometimes, not always. And then I said this thing like, so the happiness and peace, these two words, and they have different meaning. First of all, you all know that happiness is kind of related to the pleasure, which is, suppose you eat something good, then you become happy, and suppose you do something. I mean, happiness is related to the pleasure, you know, the difference, pleasure, and peace is related to the inner peace, heart related thing, which is not related to the pleasure. It is related to some kind of peacefulness. So for some example, like as I said, if you buy a very expensive house, and then you live there and you become happy, but when you donate some money to some poor, bigger, distribute bigger, or some other people, when you keep something, then and then they become happy and you feel peace inside. So that's the difference between happiness and peace. So he said, the person with whom I was talking, he said he is not peaceful because he is seeing a lot of things happening around in the country and in the society, which makes him feel sad. So I was like, so it means when you see so many things around in the society and it makes you unhappy, not peaceful, this is, then you will never be peaceful in your life. If you want the thing in this way. The reason is, if you read the history of humankind and then if you go back, you'll see there was no time when everywhere there was peace. This is impossible to get this universe of peace everywhere. My point is, at some point you'll see everywhere there is some problem, in the society, in the country, everywhere there is some problem. I mean, not everywhere. The point is, you'll see at least there is one occurrence of murder or rape or some kind of disturbing incidents in the whole country. At least there is, then it's not like there will be, there is always, it's happening. This is how this thing goes on, and if you read the history, the same thing you will get. And if all of these things makes us feel sad, which actually does, then basically we will never get this peace. If our peace depends on that, then it will never make us feel peaceful. And another thing is, he said, when he says other people are getting rich, who in his own account, own voice, whom he think are not capable of, actually they are not eligible to go there, but they are going there. Or some people are having something that they shouldn't have, or he think other people are less capable compared to him, but they are getting more in the society, which makes him feel unhappy. So this is also another interesting thing. Um, uh, and this is kind of disturbing also, because, for example, if our happiness, our peacefulness in mind depends on that kind of thing, suppose who is doing what and who are getting higher in the social ladder, uh, then it's not going to give us peace in any time, because always there will be some people who is winning. And if we don't like it, if we don't like other people's winning, other people's success, then it will always make us unpeaceful in mind. My point is, you see the difference. There is some kind of a difference here, some kind of contrast here. If our peacefulness depends on some other incidents, then it will never make us happy. We have to be peaceful inside. We have to be happy with what we have, and we have to be peaceful with all of these things within us. And one of the shortcut to all of these things is we have to minimize our expectation. Our expectation is actually killing us. When we have some huge, very rigorous expectation from ourselves, rigorous from ourselves, from the society, from the country level or national level, then basically when that expectation is not met, then we become unhappy, and we feel disturbance in the heart, which is not peaceful. So basically, if you expect something higher, bigger, then maybe there is some problem. So my point is, now this is also tough. You will say, like, how can I not expect something? And basically, here comes the word. Our expectations should be realistic, and suppose we cannot expect this thing, like that there will be no disturbing incidents in the whole country in one day. This is impossible. I mean, this is not realistic, because it never happened in the whole history of mankind. There could be, like, if there is some if you see, suppose 616 crore people. 16 crore means 160,000 people in some country, let's say. 160,000, 16, it should be, this is like 1600, then 50. So that's the amount of people I'm talking about now. This is not 16,000. This is 1600, then 00, then 000. So 5, 6, 7, 16, then 7 zeros. Suppose 16 and 7 zeros people are now living here in Bangladesh. So this is impossible that there will be no unhappy incidents among these peoples, because people are people. Everybody are unique in their work, according to their the way they think and the way they does the work. So basically, there will be something which is not within our understanding, um, within our expectation. So it will go, definitely it will go beyond our expectation. So basically, my point is we should not mix up these two things. Suppose what others are doing, what I am doing, what others are doing, we have to let them do it. I mean, to some extent, if it is not disturbing the society, I mean, we have to let other people to become successful in their life. We should not interfere it. I mean, they have their life, so they also have the they also have their own way of reaching to their goals, and we should not interfere it. We are not, I mean, who are we to judge who will become successful in life or who will not? This is not the way we should think. I mean, their life is their life and our life is our life. We should know our limitation. We should think about ourselves, and we should uh, go ahead with that. Basically, we should not. People are unhappy. People are not peaceful in mind. Most in most cases, the reason is people are thinking about others too much, and they are overestimating their capabilities, and they are underestimating the others. That's and when they see this, when they underestimate the others, but others are getting the success in life, and that makes them unhappy. You know the difference. This is kind of creepy. This is kind of weird. This is kind of peculiar behavior of human being. They should not overestimate themselves. They should estimate themselves, or they should know what they are capable of doing, and they should be satisfied with that. Or they can uplift their boundary. They can try to try to do something more from their perspective, from their way. They should grow up by themselves, not by pushing others from in some mean way. You know the difference. We, you know, people are people, and other people, let them get what they want, or or how they want to become successful in their life. This is not the way. I mean, these peoples are crazy, you know, when they think about the other people, when they always talk about other people. These people are crazy, you know. You will see it when they talk, their unhappiness, their all of these things is really crazy. My point is, let's think about yourself. Let's think about myself, and how can I grow up, and and how can I contribute to the society in some positive way? How can I contribute to the nation in some positive way? How can I contribute to the civilization in some positive way? And what can I add to it? What input I can give to this civilization? And that's it. And other people also will try to give some input to this civilization. Let them give it. That's it. And this is how we all grow up, actually. Anyway, so this video started with that interesting story by Leo Tolstoy. Leo Tolstoy. That really one of the great Russian author. So yeah, he was really great, and he wrote some amazing book like War and Peace and other books. So, and Leo Tolstoy, his lifetime was from 1828 to 1910, and yeah, so many things. His life was really interesting. Tolstoy's life was really interesting, I can see. Anyway, let's not talk about this too much. The story was, how much land does a man require? And it turns out, this is a very interesting story, by the way, and a really interesting short story by Leo Tolstoy, and I felt good by reading it, because this is kind of philosophical answer. He was trying to give some philosophical answer about the humans desire and the limitations of human being. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching it. Bye for today.